and welcome to Amethyst Style Crafting. My name is Jane Allmark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today I thought I would show you another new stamp set which is coming in the January to June mini catalogue, and it is, as soon as I saw it, I thought I have to have this. I love doing silhouettes. It's a stamp set and die. The stamp set, you've got these lovely, lovely little tiny flowers and meadows and things, beautiful for doing great backgrounds and then just stamping over the top in black. Trees, exactly the same, little smaller trees, and then this sort of hill with all sorts of little shrubs and things coming up over the top. Some okay sentiments on there, which is good. And then there is this die set. Now, it is, in my opinion, probably one of the best dies, the most intricate, the most beautiful dies that Stampin' Up have done for, oh, I don't know. They keep bringing out beautiful things. Now, this, when it die cuts, it cuts through the center. So you put it on and you line it up and it will then cut out. And I've got one done. It will cut this out. So you put it on so that it is literally as centered as you can in your card. Run it through and it gives this lovely window. Let's show you on here. It gives you this absolutely lovely aperture window that you can then put whatever you want inside. They then have, let's put this one back in here. I always put mine on magnetic sheets. People have asked me where I get them from. You can get them from anywhere, really. They're available at most craft shops, online, anywhere like that. Now, these two deer, they are just so intricate and so beautiful, stunning. I know we've just finished with Christmas, but for Christmas time, but just for any scene. I mean, look, that's them die cut. The detail, even the tiny weeny little hooves. Let me see if I can bring it up closer. Let's see if it'll focus on there. Yeah, you can see that the hooves are just so much detail on them. Just stunning. I'm just so impressed because they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I thought that we would work with just those three elements, and I will then show you why I really enjoy working with dies like this, because I then get a chance to do backgrounds. Now, I have cut out, this is just my standard card base that I have, so I haven't done it absolutely perfectly. In fact, what I should do is cut it exactly the same size as the base. It'll make it easier to work with. So let's very quickly take a piece of basic white. Here we go. Take a piece of basic white. I'm just going to grab my trimmer, which is always handy and by the side, and I'm just going to cut another piece exactly the same size. Now, whatever size you use, I'm using 5.5 by 3 3/4, and that just happens to be what I use. So use whatever size you want. You can use it as big or as small as you want, as long as it's not too small that it won't go through. Okay, so that's given me my base, which is exactly the same size. Okay, so I'm going to put that in over the top like that, and what I'm going to do is I am going to mark with a pencil just so that it gives me my where I want my focal point to be. I'm going to mark just at the top here. I'm going to mark down on the side here, and I'm going to mark down on the side there now, and just down on the bottom. Now, you can always rub those pieces off afterwards. I hope you can see them. They're just a tiny weeny little space. And then I've got a 1-inch punch, retired, but, you know, use use what you've got. I like these little 1-inch punches. I will never get rid of my circle punches. And that is going to give us our sun for our sunrise or our sunset. And I've just dropped my blending brush down on there. And so then we just need some blending brushes and we need some colours. Now I'm just using 3 colours. I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape, Bumblebee and Melon Mambo. So we're going to start with the with the Bumblebee. You can use any yellow you want, so it's entirely up to you, but you can use any yellow you want. Now I'm going to get a piece of just scrap paper to just put underneath, then I don't have to tear my grid paper off. So you need a bit of scrap to go in underneath like that. We've got our marks, and all we're going to do is, I've got one with Bumblebee on. I'm just literally going to put, I'm doing this quite quickly, so there might be a few little blobby bits on there, but it doesn't, if you go from the outside in, then you don't tend to get as many coming in. Now what I want to do is I want to have this inside bit, the whole card is going to be covered in the Bumblebee. So again, you don't have to, if you haven't got blending brushes, you can use a kitchen sponge, you can use sponge daubers, you can use whatever you want to give you this colour which comes right the way over. So we've got it all the way across, and we want it quite sort of dark in on this middle bit here, which is where we've got our little line so we can see where our focal point is. Now I'm going to take the circle. I want to give it just a little bit of, so we can put that one up. I'm going to just give it a little bit of tack. So you could use a sticky note if you wanted to. I tend to just put just a little tiny bit of seal or something like that on there, and I de-tack it. So I really sort of, you know, take most of the sticky out of it so it's not going to stick on. And I want it halfway between my top line that I've made and underneath, because that's going to just sit there quite nicely. Now I've got, these are my purples and pinks on here, so that's fine. I'm going to use my Melon Mambo next, and the Melon Mambo is going to come from the center. So I'm taking it from here, and I'm, whoops, that's for, wanted that to go in that little space, didn't I? I don't think it's stuck down enough for me. Let's put that down. Come on, are we stuck? Hopefully. Don't de-tack it too much, otherwise you won't have any. So I want to take it in on the center, and I'm just going round. That's better, it has stuck down. I didn't stick it down enough. So just take it from the center, and you're just going round in the outside. And then what I tend to do is to just bring it down just to the bottom like that. Okay, then I'm going to use the same brush. You can use different brush if you've got lots of different brushes. I've only got a few, but I wash them after I've finished using them a few times. And we're going to take the Gorgeous Grape, and the Gorgeous Grape we are going to go all the way round the outside, and you want it to come fairly far in, because otherwise it's not going to show outside. But we're just going all the way round, so I just need to make sure that I've got enough on there, so I'm bringing it up again from the bottom. Just bringing it all the way around. And as I say, you don't need lots of colours for this. All I'm using is 3 colours. So all we've got is the Gorgeous Grape, which we're using now, the Bumblebee, or any yellow that you've got, and Melon Mambo. You could use Magenta Madness, you could use Polished Pink, you could use any one that you want really. And as I say, I'm bringing this down all the way across so that we haven't got a huge amount down on the sides. We've only just got a little bit coming in like this. Okay, so that's our purple. Now we're going to go back to the Magenta Madness and we're going to blend that purple in, because it then takes it through and gives a really lovely toned look to it. So you've got your lovely dark colours at the bottom. You've got this coming down from the bottom as well, but it gives you that glow by keeping the yellow at the side. So I'm just literally bringing this in, bring it down on the top here. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to take my little piece off, and that gives us that sort of sunny look, and I'm going to try with the base to start off with to see exactly how it's gone. So if I put that over the top, that's giving me exactly what I want. So let me just put this away like that. And as I say, 3 colours is all we've used, but it gives you that really lovely, if I put this like that, you can see it gives you that really lovely sort of silhouette look coming through. Now, if you want this yellow to not be quite so stark, you can take, let me take this piece on the bottom, because it is a little bit bright. I don't want much on here, but you can just very gently just go over it just a little bit, not a lot, and it will just tone it down just a little bit. Okay, and that's all I want to do. Now, you can rub your little rubber marks out, but what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in on top. So again, wet glue, really easy thing to do. You can use the double-sided sticky sheets if you want to, but to be quite honest, it's a fairly straightforward. You know you're going to have a frame, so just glue the frame bit in, and then you've got up your trunks, which are fairly easy to do with wet glue. I just come up the trunks and then just go through in on the pieces. As I say, it's not a too difficult one. Yes, it's very intricate, but just draw little bits of your wet glue through and you should be fine. So just taking those bits in, because I want it to be all nicely stuck down. And then, because we've cut it exactly the same size, it's a fairly easy exercise to put it in exactly in where we want it, because you can literally just take it up from one side to the other. Just make sure that you've got it where you need it. Put it down, and as I say, because it's intricate, turn it the other way round and just glue it down that way, and that gives you your beautiful background. Now all we've got to do is to add our beautiful deer. Now what I probably should have done, but it's fairly easy to do, is to not stick down just this little bottom bit down here, because I want to try and tuck. There we go, I can just ease it up like that. I want to tuck the just the little feet, even though I've said they're really delicate, I don't want him to be floating in midair. So I'm going to just tuck the top of his little feet in. So let's just take this up on here. But you can do any sort of background you want with this. You really can. And this is why I love it. I love silhouettes, but these are just, they're just stunning. Absolutely stunning. They really are. There's something that I just think are beautiful. Right, so I'm just tucking them just in. And he's going to come up there. So he's in there on the bottom. And then the little baby is going to do, if I can pick him up, is going to do exactly the same just on the other side. And that is all I'm going to do. Now, you know, you can put a sentiment on if you want to. To be quite honest, I think that these just stand beautifully on their own. So let's just tuck this just in on there. So all I'm doing is just taking this up a little bit so I can just tuck his little feet in. Just need to take this little one up as well. I've stuck, pop him in on there. And then he can just come up there like that. And then I can pop those other bits in. And again, turn it the other way around and do this, and you've got it. But I mean, look at that. Isn't that stunning? I think it's beautiful, and it's so simple to do, but is so effective. Just absolutely beautiful. And as I say, if you wanted to put a little sentiment down here, you could do. I would do it in, emboss it in white, and just maybe have something very small down there. But in the same respect, you don't really need anything. You can just put it onto a card base and put all the sentiments and things that you want inside. But it is my absolute favourite, and I know I'm going to be using it so much, and it is the Grove dies, and that's all we've used with this one, just 2 dies, and then the lovely stamp set, which is the Grassy Grove. And again, I'm going to be showing you lots of different ways of using that. So I hope you enjoyed that. As always, please stay safe and well. Please be kind. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.